Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the RDA. I hope you are doing well and I hope you are feeling good this morning, unless you're a Leipzig fan. Don't worry, there aren't many. Not in South Africa, of course. I'm sure there's many in Germany who will be feeling the pain. Of course, Manchester United slapped RB Leipzig 5-0 yesterday. Yes, you heard correctly, 5-0. Magnificent result. Absolutely buzzing, fam. I'm gassed. So this video will be 5 major talking points surrounding that game. Hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. Let's get into it. First of all, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, massive victory for him as a manager. Nagelsmann has been constantly put above Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on a pedestal because of how young he is and how tactically inclined he is, and the fact that they're at the top of the Bundesliga and the fact that they came second, they made a semi-final in the Champions League, without Timo Werner at some point as well, which is massive respect. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's record against big clubs, not just in England but in Europe, continues. The only kryptonite he has so far is actually Barcelona, because they slapped us, fam, at the Camp Nou. I ain't gonna lie. But at the moment, when you look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's form since January against the Big Six, actually his career record against the Big Six in England is a 55% win rate. He has a 72% win rate since January. Take that into context. We beat Paris Saint-Germain at the Parc de France. People said they didn't have their best squad. They had injuries. It wasn't the same team that made the final. I'm not interested, because people don't give Manchester United that sympathy when we don't play well. Okay, fine. You can have the Paris one. What's Nagelsmann's excuse? Unbeaten up until that point, and he got slapped 5-0, fam. He got schooled by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I'm sick and tired of these men telling me Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has no tactics. Let's put that to bed now, yeah? Okay. The second major talking point of the video, Donny van de Beek. Free Donny van de Beek. Free Donny van de Beek. His labor rights are being absolutely abused. He's been treated like an inhumane specimen. Free Donny van de Beek. You got him. And look, it was an electrifying performance by the team as a whole, but it wasn't necessarily the most electrifying performance by Donny van de Beek, in my opinion. He did enough as a 10 to get us over the line, fam. If I was to give him a play rating, I'd probably give him a 7. 8 if I was being kind. He was okay. He was decent, and that's what you expect from Donny van de Beek. I was surprised Bruno didn't start, but I didn't make a big deal of it, because unlike other United fans, when my favorite player doesn't start, I don't mind him coming off the bench to be an impact player. So no disrespect to the boy Donny, fam. He deserved the start. I don't know why he's playing in the 10, because I've always thought he's more traditionally a box-to-box. But it is what it is. Maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thinks his best attributes suit him in the number 10 role. The funny thing is, for Sporting Lisbon, Bruno Fernandes never actually played as a 10 as well. Not consistently anyways. He used to play as a right-sided box-to-box midfielder. So we're noticing a trend with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's playing Bruno and Donny van de Beek in the 10, trying to get the best out of them, probably in his opinion. And I know a lot of you will disagree, but nevertheless, I have no bad blood with Donny van de Beek. No bad blood with Donny van de Beek. I obviously am a massive fan of Bruno Fernandes, but I'm not one of those fans that's agenda driven and that will try find reasons why Donny van de Beek shouldn't have started. And look, I said it in my other video, it's a long season. Donny van de Beek will get his chance. It's only been 5 games. The third major talking point, and this probably should have been number 1, but I didn't want to come across as biased. Anyone who watches the channel knows that this is my favorite player. Yes, the hat-trick man himself, Dr. Marcus Rashford, more like Sir Marcus Rashford. MBE, more like MVP. The first player to score a hat-trick off the bench since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the Champions League against elite opposition. They cannot even use the excuse that they were not ready. They had injuries, they had this, they had that. Elite opposition in the elite European competition, and Marcus Rashford comes on and scores a hat-trick. To be fair, not while the whole world is watching, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have been watching that game. A lot of football purists whose teams weren't playing would have fancied a bit of Leipzig versus Manchester United, especially after the first 3 goals, fam. Them wait there, blood. The news would have been circulating in the timelines on Twitter. Marcus Rashford, magnificent performance. Nothing else to say. He came off the bench. Kind of an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer-esque performance, really. The fourth major talking point of yesterday's game, Fred, what an absolute machine he was. And look, I want to kind of tie these 2 points in together, because the diamond and the way Fred played in the diamond yesterday showed that Manchester United could have a system that could work for them long term here. Now, I'm not saying we should use the system every single game. I'm not suggesting that this is the end all be all, but I am saying that our lack of width in this team can be compensated by our strength in the midfield. Fred, as a box to box midfielder, not as a DM, as a box to box midfielder, is levels above a lot of players out here, fam. And I'm talking levels above, not just in the Premier League, but in the Champions League. People are sleeping on Fred. I know he has no first touch. I know his passing range is not particularly well, but his tenacity, his ability to intercept the ball in key positions around the pitch and then turn over position, lay it off to someone like Pogba and let him do the rest, magnificent box. And then it gives Pogba freedom to do whatever he wants to do. He can play the risky passes. He can dribble. He can try to drive the ball up the field, which he did so well today. And I've said this about Paul Pogba. Everyone who says Paul Pogba's a 10, you are out of your mind. You're smoking weed. He plays as a box-to-box for France in a deeper role. He's played for box-to-box for Manchester United in the past, and he's doing it now, and we're seeing how good this guy is. Paul Pogba's best attributes is his ability to drive the ball up the field. His long-range passing is unmatched in the world of football, probably top 5. Some people would even say he's the best. And when you couple that with his creativity, and when you couple that with his height, the fact that he can win headers against most players, who are sleeping on him, he's a perfect box-to-box midfielder, and he can run up and down the field. Now, yes, Pogba getting into the box, Pogba getting on the edge of the box, taking shots, that is a dangerous Paul Pogba. But I think Paul Pogba playing a ball from deep is far more dangerous than one trying to take a shot out the box. Anyways, moving on. Moving on to talking point number 5 for the video. Our defense yesterday was pretty solid. Not going to lie, it was pretty solid. Maguire, Lindelof, people have often said this is not a partnership that is going to win us titles, and I agree, this is not a partnership that's going to win us major trophies over a consistent period of time, and I completely agree. They do not complement each other well enough for me to suggest that they are a good centre-back partnership, but as I've always said, this is our best centre-back partnership at the moment. People will talk about Axel Tuanzebe. Look, Axel Tuanzebe just came back from a 10-month injury, people. He's not ready to play week in, week out after being out for 10 months with an injury that ends most young players' career. So with Axel Tuanzebe, I think we've got to feed him into the team slowly and look after him, much like we did with Greenwood, when Greenwood wasn't particularly ready at this level. We've got to treat him like what he is. He's a young player. He's going to be inconsistent. Let's not pretend like he's Harry Beckenbauer just because of one good PSG performance. He still needs to earn his way into this team, not just in terms of performance, but I think in terms of his mentality. We need to make sure the mindset is right and we're not pushing him in too soon. His physicality, we need to make sure we're looking after the player, okay? That's all I'm saying with Axel Tuanzebe. I'm not saying he can't be better than Lindelof or Maguire. He obviously can. But talent and skill can only get you so far if you can't stay fit. As Manchester United fans, that reminds me. This whole thing of if Eric Bailly can stay fit. Mate, if Mars had oxygen, we'd be able to live there now, wouldn't we? So it's a pointless argument. It's a null and void argument. Bailly will never stay fit, and I hope Tuanzebe doesn't become the new Eric Bailly or the new Phil Jones fam. Just another could have been, but can't stay out of the bloody physio's room. Anyways, I digress. That was a bit of a mouthful. Let's move on from that. I think it was a magnificent defensive performance. We got the clean sheet against Leipzig. There's nothing more you can ask from this team. All you can ask is that we go and beat Arsenal on the weekend, even if it's a scruffy performance, fam, because the last thing we need is to lose to the Gunners, fam. The last thing we need is to lose to Mikel Frauteta, fam. Them right there, blood. Some people are calling him a fraud already. I haven't written him off that quickly personally, but I can see why. Anyways, that has been your 5 major talking points around Manchester United beating RB Leipzig 5-0, fam. 5-0 in their own backyard, fam. They should be ashamed of themselves in it because they were doing so well this season. And I'm sure they'll respond, but we don't have to bear the brunt of that response. It's been your boy TripleM. I hope you did enjoy that video. Please do leave a like and do subscribe if you are new. Even if you're not particularly a Manchester United fan, we do all sorts of football content on here. We do the Premier League recaps on Sundays, sometimes on Mondays. So stick around for that, man.